What's up YouTube, BigSweetC here with you with another video. In this one, I want to talk about the state of games today, specifically single-player, story-driven RPGs, role-playing games. Anyone who's followed me for a while knows that this is probably my favorite genre of video games. Seriously, 4 of my top 5 video games are from this very category, which makes this such a fun video to do because for a while now, this has been a genre that's kind of been left in the corner. And all of a sudden, we seem to be going through a renaissance of sorts with all the hits that have been coming out. What brought this up, Sony announced a few days ago that Final Fantasy VII Remake had moved 3.5 million copies. 3.5 million copies in its first 3 days of release, which, if those numbers hold true, would make it the fastest selling PlayStation 4 exclusive ever, beating out Marvel's Spider-Man at 3.3 and God of War at 3.1 million respectively. Now, there is a chance that it falls short of those numbers. These are just shipment orders, not actual sales. But all likelihood, Final Fantasy VII Remake probably beats those projections. Having worked in retail for a good majority of my life, I know from experience that a company doesn't usually order something it doesn't expect to sell. For example, Best Buy. They would not buy 100 copies of the game if they only expected to sell 50. Now multiply that by every retailer. So if every retailer expects to sell everything that they've shipped, we're looking at 3.5 at the very minimum copies sold of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, even if the remake doesn't reach 3.5, the fact that we're in the middle of a global pandemic and no one is going out to retailers, the idea that it could reach those numbers is astounding. A true accomplishment. Sure, maybe it's because we're all at home and out of work, but we're looking at a Great Depression style economy right now, where expendable income is really hard to come by. Neither God of War nor Spider-Man came out during a depression. In the case of Spider-Man, it's amazing what can happen in just 2 short years. So this got me thinking. Because we just finished Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, very recently the CEO of EA was glowing about the success of the game and how it's unbelievable how well the game did considering it's the first in a brand new franchise. Now, I wouldn't go necessarily that far. You'd be a fool to think that the name Star Wars didn't have something to do with its success. But it's definitely not the only reason, and most likely not the main reason. The game is awesome. The numerous awards it has won prove that. In between those two was Resident Evil 3, just a year after RE2. And let's not forget about Obsidian's The Outer Worlds, a game that literally put Bethesda out of business. Okay, maybe not out of business, but definitely made them irrelevant. On top of all this, we still have The Last of Us 2 and possibly Cyberpunk 2077 before the end of the year. This is truly a renaissance in the RPG genre, and I, for one, am all about it. Whether you like to believe it or not, this is the genre that made video games a viable industry. I hope this is a good sign to come as people get back into this once dominant arena, as it's only a positive on the gaming community in general. But that's just what I think. How about you? Is the success of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Jedi Fallen Order a flash in the pan? Was it just because everyone is stuck in their house with nothing to do? Will the hits keep coming? Comment below with your opinions, as I'm generally curious how everyone else feels. Either way, be sure to like the video, hit that sub button, and the notification bell beside it to make sure you don't miss any future content. That's going to do it for this one. BigSweetC, that's me. Wishing YouTube, that's you, a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day you might be watching. Long as you're watching, I'm wishing you a wonderful watching time. Sweetness, signing off. Peace.